All right, monthly day. And you may have noticed we have a guest this time. Say hello, Avery.
Hello, what's up, guys?
I'm sure you guys know who Ginger is. Legend. But yeah, we're going to, it's technically a monthly, but it's also specifically a regional. Like, it's a larger event because, of course, we've got this guy who flew out, Lowercase Hero.
Cliche
Slow King. Who am I missing from out of state?
Somebody Shirley, right? I mean, the thing is, Minnesota just has good players now.
That's also what I was going to say, yeah.
Ben and Tony are like literal top threats, you know.
Desmond, Lexor.
Dez, absolutely.
I'm ranked.
You're ranked.
Even though I'm old now and rusty, but yeah, so it's going to be a fairly stacked tournament, I would say. Like, the average Midwest Regional, having this many good players at it, it would be like, wow, that's like a pretty big tournament.
Definitely. Does it actually happen every month?
This specific iteration of it, MMM is supposed to happen every month, Minnesota Monthly Melee.
Okay, but this is 4M.
But this is 4M, Mega Minnesota Monthly Melee.
Okay.
I forget what the acronym is. But I don't even think the monthlies are necessarily happening every month right now. I could be wrong. That's a question for Dendy.
Sure.
And sometimes Arcadians get in the way and that messes with it, so I don't know.
I just wasn't sure if it was more of a regional or more of a monthly.
Today, I would call today's event a regional. Like, now that I've said the people who are showing up out loud, that's a regional, surely, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. So, Avery's here. That's exciting. Avery was sharing some thoughts with me earlier about, like, where his head's at when he travels to tournaments and, like, striking the balance between, like, I forget the exact words you use, but taking it easy versus, like, focusing too hard.
Yeah, do you want me to speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, you should speak to that.
Yeah, so I just woke up today even thinking, today I actually feel better than normal. I actually feel like I slept really well. I was a little afraid because, like, during my travels, I got a really early flight, and so I had to wake up super early. I got like 2 hours of sleep, and I took a nap later in the day that was like 2 hours long. Like, okay, well, I've actually only accumulated like 4 hours of sleep or something. I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight. I took a nap. I don't know if it's going to take me forever to fall asleep. And then we don't even really know when our pools are in the morning, so we kind of have to get up a little bit early, at least early in terms of like what I perceive it as.
It's 1 o'clock now, by the way.
It's 1 o'clock now.
I'm trying to remember to give times during the video because I think it offers, like,
that's very fair
perspective. And I think our pool's in about an hour.
Yeah.
Pools.
But so essentially with all of this, like, I feel better prepared today than I might when I go to some other majors. But essentially, it feels like this blessing to be able to travel and participate in Melee and enter big tournaments. And, like, I get to do this for work even, which is really, really cool. But at the same time, you know, as a smasher, I feel like most people don't get the best of conditions. Like, I'll just get the cheapest flight, and I will get, like, whatever housing is available. I've slept on more floors than I can count. I got a mattress on the floor this time, which is, like, honestly amazing, and I'll take that.
That mattress used to be on a bed frame, but we have a baby in the house now, and normally he would have an actual bed.
That's fair.
I'm a good host, I swear.
No, the mattress is good. It's definitely good. But essentially, like, the way that I sort of have compartmentalized it in my head is, like, there's gonna be bad circumstances. I don't want to go into it thinking, like, oh God, since I'm not gonna get enough sleep, or I've been up for a long time, or my sleep was bad, or my shoulder hurts, or whatever, that I'm, like, gonna do worse than I want to. And I don't want to keep my expectations too high, because if I do, maybe I'll let myself down. So I'm just gonna, like, try to chill and, you know, eat whatever's available, and I get to the tournament and I'll do my best. But sometimes I feel like that prevents me from accessing the intensity required to actually do well at a tournament. You know what I mean?
That's the balance piece, right? Because I feel like I actually I swing the other way mostly. Like, I go, like, super. I'm like, okay, my backpack's got everything I need. I have this. I was literally doing it before we left. I was like, I need this. I need that. Okay, my flight is at this time. I have to make sure I get a window seat. Otherwise, I'll, like, feel like this. And then, okay, when I went to Supernova, it was going to be my first tournament with a CPAP. And I was, like, really excited. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be fully rested. This is going to be excellent.
Yeah.
And I make it to the airport, and I realize, I might have messaged you about this.
We were there together.
At Supernova, or not at
Weren't we?
Not, I realized...
You forget your hose or
I forgot my
right?
hose, my CPAP hose, which is a key component of the CPAP machine. And I was like, texting Shay. I was like, Shay, please, can you come bring it to me? I was like, should I call an Uber, go home and go get it?
Yeah.
I need to be well rested for this tournament. Like this, I spent so much money on the flight, all this stuff, blah blah blah. And Shay was like, I'm not gonna drive to the airport again. Like, she just dropped me out. Totally reasonable. I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't want to drive either. And the flight was leaving in like 45 minutes or something by the time I realized.
Yeah.
And I was like panicking, freaking out. There was a bunch of other stuff that ended up happening, but I remember thinking like, no, this is a challenge. I'm gonna be okay, and I will simply like overcome this obstacle, rather than letting it be like. It's a little bit different than the balance thing you were talking about, but
that would make sense.
The point is, you can get in trouble for like swinging too far to like taking it too seriously, as well as like whatever works.
And this too is just like, I brought this up because it's an interesting component, this like preparation component. But on top of that, there's just like the expectations you go into this competitive setting with, like how well you want to do, or like what's it called? Like, it's really easy to play out the sets in your head and get into your head about it, and like think about the projected bracket or something, and then you're sitting there the night before and it's just like winding up in your head on repeat. And I found that like I specifically get so anxious that it gets even harder for me to sleep, and then it doesn't even end up helping my results. The reason why it might be good to think about that projected bracket or how well you want to do is because like maybe you can prepare and think about things that are important that will help you win the set, but like it never helps me. It just freaks me out, and then I'm actually met with a bunch of different challenges as soon as I get into the set, regardless. So it's like, oh, I can't do this. But then, am I losing out on a piece of important preparation? Like, could I do better if I was able to be less anxious but still visualize in that way? Like, it's so tough for me to balance. And so I think I swing, like I said, like the other way, where I just like, last night, I didn't think about Melee once. I was just like laying in bed, wasn't thinking about Melee at all. Just like completely, even like purposefully, consciously took my mind away from Melee and just like thought about Dota, or thought about like League Worlds was going on last night. It's like, oh, I can think about, oh, the bracket, and oh, the team from the NA is actually doing really well this year. That's cool, blah, 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 until I like pass out. But I'm not thinking about Melee. I'm not thinking about like what I'm going to do when I play against Tony. And like, doesn't that matter a little bit? I don't know.
It's funny, this morning when I recorded the original version of this, which by the way, I wasn't sure we were going to do this, so I did a recording anyway, and I was never going to talk about it, and now it's embarrassing because I did the recording and you'll never see it. But anyway, during that recording, I talked about, this is where Shay's going to watch her play later.
Oh, nice.
She's going to see Wicked.
Boom.
I talked about how I deliberately would carve out time at a larger event to not do anything Melee related. Like I would go talk to people, or I would like go get food, or I'd go sit by myself.
Oh, that's another component I was literally gonna bring up. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Otherwise I would be so burnt out, or I'd even like guilt trip myself. I'd be like, oh my gosh, I need to like focus more on, I'm not talking to these people enough. Oh, I'm not practicing enough. And when I like consciously said, no, for this hour, I'm actually gonna do anything not involving competition.
Yeah.
And that made it a lot easier to both enjoy that time and take the competition piece more seriously.
It's interesting too that you found that, because I feel like there was a period of time where your anxieties seemed to ramp up if like you didn't have that Uncle Punch set up that you really wanted to be able to practice your ledge dashes for a certain amount of time. And like it's so interesting because practicing your ledge dashes, you just imagine has a positive effect on your gameplay.
Right.
But like, what if the anxiety of like not quite having the amount of time that you need, or not the exact setup, like you don't have Uncle Punch and you can't reset every time that you fail a ledge dash, you have to like go find something, or like even take a setup in this like chaos of bracket happening, and I don't know, it can be really anxiety inducing. And I find that like, I wrote this in my journal when I was in North Carolina competing at Patchwork, and I said that confidence is the most important competitive aspect. And like, you might think that hitting your ledge dashes a little bit more is more important than like some ethereal mental struggle that you overcome or whatever. But like, I find that that's not really the case. I find that the majority of Melee and competition is mental, and that confidence is like a gigantic issue. You know what I mean? It
was hard for me to get, because I know what you're talking. I would literally like bring my own setup to tournaments and everything, and I even like still carry around an SD card out of like habit, even though I 100% am not going to use it.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like a comfort in being like knowing exactly like okay, in case I need to practice, like, here's what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's maybe something I'm still working on, but it definitely used to be worse. I would like, Avery, we have to get a setup for the room. I got to do this. I got to do that.
Yep.
If I don't practice 3,000 ledge dashes the day before the tournament,
then you know it's going to go bad
lost.
or something.
Exactly,
Yes, exactly. But that's part of it. Like, the confidence that I'm talking about is like confidence in spite of, right? It's like I'm confident even though I didn't hit all those ledge dashes, or even though I don't have my favorite socks or whatever. You know what I mean? Like anything that people do to like convince themselves that's what they need to perform well. The less things that you need, like the more that your brain can take over and be like, no, we got this regardless. Like, that's such a strong thing, because you're gonna listen. I've played Melee for 20 years, right? So I've been traveling for God knows how long. Every tournament, there's gonna be a circumstance that like you didn't foresee that you have to overcome. Even if it's like a local, there's some random thing that comes up. Like nearly every time. Some of them are like repeat things, and I get to be like, oh yeah, I remember back like a couple of years ago, I heard the commentators right next to me, and there were no headphones on the stream.
The CRT's a weird size. The chairs are at a weird height.
The sun's coming through. This sounds like John's or whatever, but like the sun's coming through at like a weird angle on my TV, but not my opponent's. Like the sound is weird. There's a trillion things, but if you can access, even if it's like partially delusional, I think, I'm not sure, but like if it's this delusional confidence, like that matters so much more than like actually getting the TV that is perfectly aligned with everything that you want, because then you're so adaptable, and I think that's really important. So when talking about being adaptable, it's like, I don't know who I'm going to play in bracket today, and I could overthink it forever. But like, if I could just think, I don't care who I'm about to play, I'm going to whoop them, right? Isn't that good?
Yeah.
But I lose out on specifically preparing for a specific person. Like, where's the balance?
Right.
It's so tough.
And I think what's funny is you could say all this and go about this approach and then like get upset or something like that. Something go horribly wrong. And I think the wrong thing to do is I think you should both like take that as feedback and go, okay, maybe I swung too far, like maybe I like chilled too hard or whatever. But you also shouldn't totally dismiss the strategy you went in with. Like sometimes like you did all the right things and things don't work out sometimes. That's okay.
Super true. Yeah, it's easy to be like, well, I guess I was wrong.
It's
like results.
I should have super hard focused before and practiced 5,000 ledge dashes.
Exactly. And I find that everybody's different, and everybody has some balance or tolerance for anxieties too. So like, I don't know, finding that balance is important for everybody. But results-based thinking is like it's an evil trap, right? It's a trap in terms of like in-game game plans, but it can also be a trap in terms of your mentality. Like, you might think like you feel amazing and that you've like eaten the right breakfast, everything, and you're perfectly prepared, and then you lose. But like, that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it the next time. But it's really hard because this is a quote from Ego is the Enemy. In order for your work to have truth in it, it must come from truth. So you just need to be able to, the most important skill is to be able to honestly assess yourself, right? Did I prepare in a way that was productive to me? And if you can say yes to that, then there isn't necessarily a reason to change that, even if the results didn't come through.
Yeah, like look at it a little bit. Be like, maybe this part could have been a little different. I could try this, but that doesn't mean you like. What's the phrase? Throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah.
Is that the saying?
Exactly.
Well, cool. So that's on your mind for the tournament today.
Yeah, I don't know, because again, for this tournament,
or like any tournament, I guess,
we went through the seeding last night. And I was thinking, like, okay, I either play like Loons or Cliche. Those are two entirely different matchups. Should I prepare for both of them? And then I just went like, I'm not going to think about any of it, actually. And I say this to you all the time, right? That like it's a marathon, not a sprint. Like that's a lot of times how I cope with whether it's delusional or not. I'm actually not sure, which I think is the correct way to be about it, funnily enough. I don't know if it's a delusion. Delusions that you know are delusions are like unproductive a lot of the time because they won't actually help you in the way that they should. But anyway, what was I even saying? Delusions.
You were talking about a marathon on the sprint matchups.
Oh, right. So like since I'm not prepared, I'm just gonna like whichever one shows up in front of me, I'll be like, well, I know the puff matchup, right? Like if it ends up being loons, like I don't need specific loons notes or whatever. Like I got this.
I talked about this exact topic I think in the first video. I don't know if you remember, where I was like, yeah, I'm the type of person to practice the matchup, assuming I have to play at the major, even if there's a good chance I don't end up playing it, because I would have rather prepared and had that mentally in my brain than not at all. And I know we disagreed on that before.
Yeah.
But I do think I'm starting to like drift a little away from it. I don't know. I also haven't been like really traveling with stuff lately. So like for this tournament in particular, I like looked at Peach a little bit because I lost to a Peach on Thursday, but that was kind of it, you know? And part of it too is like I'm just generally derusting. So it probably just is different for different people too.
Yeah. Do you have like a specific goal laid out for this tournament? It's just you and me, Joey.
Just you and me?
Yeah. Do you
that's
have
just a lie.
Well, I'm just thinking, right? Like, do you have a goal? You can cut it out if you want.
I think what I want to do today, is I want to regain the comfortability of being at a large event. Because I mean, it doesn't seem like a long time, like 6-ish months or something since the last big event I went to or whatever, but like that I used to just walk into a venue and be like, all right,
it's just
tournament time. If I'm being honest, I'm a little like, wait, pools? Like there, and then there's a main bracket. Like I'm like,
when do I eat again?
And that's not just because of like that's not just because I haven't, it's been a long time since the last big tournament, but it's because my brain has been in totally other places the last 6 months, focusing on other things.
That's fair.
So I think obviously I'd like to like do well and maybe even beat somebody I'm not supposed to beat normally. Or avoid being upset or whatever. But I'm just the last couple tournaments I talked about in the other videos, I was just like happy to be competing again and like trying to find a rhythm again, because I've played the game long enough to where I understand that like no single tournament makes or breaks your entire whatever.
True.
You know? Even the biggest majors on the planet, right?
True.
So
you don't have like a concrete goal though. You have sort of a
sure, I'll give you a concrete goal if you want. How about
a
this?
Macro goal?
I'll place my seed. How about that?
Okay.
That's my goal. Let's go for that.
Sure.
I'd like to regain comfortability, have confidence there, play well, all that stuff.
You don't need a goal. I agree. I was just wondering like if you had one.
I just had to tell you something, I guess.
No, I like it.
Avery, we are about to be at the tournament here soon, so I'll get some clips of the tournament. You like little clips.
I love the clips.
They're really
the
fun,
clips
right?
Are great.
I'll get some clips of the tournament, and then depending on how we're feeling, we'll have a post-tournament chat. So we'll see you later.
Peace.
Right, but why did you pretend you were taking it?
Because I was eating it out of the bag.
Oh.
So how much is that?
That few or that many?
Just that number, period. Because then I can just copy and paste it.
And that's the monthly / regional. Avery, why do you get us started?
I won the tournament. That was cool.
Good job, man.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I don't feel, you know what's weird is that I don't feel fully satisfied.
Whoa.
Yeah, because I think I need to do better.
That's crazy.
I think I need to do
won the
better.
tournament.
I know. I'm happy.
I get it.
I'm happy. I'm not satisfied, which are like different things in my brain. Like, you know how bad it would have sucked if I lost. I said this recently to somebody. I said, you're not allowed to feel bad about the losses if you don't feel good about the wins. So I should listen to my own advice.
That's really good advice. Fuck.
Yeah, because like, well, obviously you care. So if you win at something you care about, then like relish in it. That's dope. So it is dope, and I am happy. But I want to demand a little bit more for myself when it comes to my gameplay. And I don't know, mentally, I think I excelled today. But in terms of my gameplay, I think I could have done a lot better.
I was just like, man, you got controller stuff going on. The crowd's doing crowd stuff. Fox is being Fox. If I were you, I'm like, nice, got out of that one. You know, that's how I would feel. But maybe that's not the right attitude to have.
I don't know. Sometimes I do just feel relief instead of like happiness.
Yeah.
I would say I'm a bit happy today, which is cool.
I do think feeling relief is natural.
I came here with a goal, right?
Sure.
Like, which was to play against Tony and beat him, and I did that.
And won the tournament.
Yeah, winning the tournament I didn't care about. If I lost the Ben and Grands or whatever, I mean, obviously that would have sucked, and this video would be different. I'd be really sad. But beating Tony was my number one objective. I joked in my stream recently that like, if he loses in winners, like he gets upset, then I'm just gonna throw my set so that we play. Like I will not leave Minnesota without playing this guy in tournament and beating him.
Just because you lost to him last time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which, you know what is actually kind of funny? I probably shouldn't have viewed it that way, but I 3-0'd him in winners, and I was like, nice, mission accomplished. And then when we played in grands, I didn't 3-0 him. I was like kind of on pace too.
It was a close set.
It was a close set. And so it was like, dang, I feel like maybe I did check out a little bit, and I felt satisfied already, and I probably should not have felt that way. But regardless, it's pretty cool. I'm glad I achieved my goal. Now I can go home and not stare at a wall for a week or whatever, you know, which I would have done if I came here and lost to Tony twice or something. Wall staring.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier, was like, I think relief is actually just like an okay feeling to have. Like, I used to be like,
Yes, yeah.
I mean, I should be
That's
relieved.
fair.
I should be happy for myself. It's like, well, the alternative is pretty awful, so the relief makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Yeah, well, how do you feel, though? This has been all about me or whatever, but...
Well, you're the special guest this time around. So.
Yeah.
I got 5th place, placed the seed, so we hit the make-believe goal.
Yeah.
Yep. And I, like, felt pretty convincing in the sets I played that I was, like, worried about or whatever. Like, I beat the Peaches, and I had, like, looked at some Peach stuff before.
You did really well in the Peach sets. Especially, you told me you lost to Jim recently, and I feel like you kind of dominated Jim.
Yeah, I, like...
To be fair.
I only dropped a game to Jacqueline out of all the Peach games. But, I don't know. It just felt good to, like... I lost matchup. I lost to Jacqueline last time we played, too, and Jim the previous time we played.
See, so like that, you should be happy about that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that's how I feel, and I'm trying to think about that, especially because... And I told this, I think, in a previous video. I spent the time to focus on that stuff ahead of time.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here are some local people. My goal is to try and, like, beat them, especially because they beat me recently, blah, blah, blah. So it feels good, extra good, to have put effort towards it, and it panned out, right?
Yeah.
So that was good. And I'm trying to think about that more instead of being like, I was game 5 with Slow King. I was like, I took a game off Tony, and I threw a game that I was, like, really playing well. But I also had the thought after where I was like, I am kind of upset right now, and I'm like kind of excited about that, right? Like I hadn't been.
True.
It's a classic situation where I could have been like content, right? Like I almost beat the really good people. I beat the people I was quote unquote expected to beat, but I wanted to beat them, and it could have been hard. So I was a little pleasantly surprised to be like, damn, you know.
That's
so that
cool.
That was a nice feeling, and I think it was because. Like, had I been like 3-0'd by both of them, I was like, yeah, whatever, it's cool. Like, I'm content. But because I like took some games or could have taken, I'm like,
you showed yourself that you're still capable.
Yes, yeah. And I haven't had that feeling since beginning the D-Rust.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
That's cool.
So yeah, that was exciting.
Dude, in the chat, whoever's watching this doesn't know, but like, he was doing crazy stuff too. Like, not only was he playing pretty well and gave himself opportunities, but like he was doing some nutty ideas. Very, very cool.
If I had it in me to insert clips into the video, I would. But I'm just, it's the whole point of these videos is like boom, bam, boom.
Yeah, of course.
Dude, the other thing on my mind is I am exhausted.
Yeah,
I am
fair.
so tired.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you guys about like managing energy or whatever, and like not over socializing at tournaments and like eating properly. Didn't do any of it. I didn't eat properly.
That is tough.
Talked to everybody the entire time.
I actually specifically didn't talk to that many people. There were a couple of people, and of course I love hanging out with the community and talking to the people, but it drains me because I like go ham in conversations too, especially when people are so nice and they ask questions. I would love to talk to you.
And they're like happy to see you, you know.
Eventually my voice starts dying, and I literally start depleting, and I start thinking I actually still have more sets to play. Like I cannot do this.
Dude, I physically ache. Like
Yes.
I am sore. I am tired from like existing all day.
Yeah.
Dude, I forgot how much like energy that takes, and it makes sense to me why I would like disappear into the hotel room at a major or like leave the building during a local.
Dude, and we were in a building with no windows, just like locked in with other smashers. Like that was the vibe.
It was so hot outside, so I couldn't even really go outside. Yeah, but yeah, overall good tournament. I think I am both happy and not content at the same time, which is I think the exact right place to be.
That's what I was thinking about myself also. So we're in a similar place.
Look at that.
I will say, man, watching you have the opportunities that you had and then not winning broke my heart a bit.
Damn.
But you know me, I'm always rooting for you, and like sometimes it seems like more than I'm even able to root for myself, you know? So
Dude,
like,
that's how I feel watching your sets.
of course, we've talked about this before. It's just like, especially against
And
Dave.
Kalindi sets.
Against Dave, he like, I don't know, squeaked a couple of those games, and I was like, yeah, right.
Even that
man.
game 1 versus Tony, where it was like,
Oh, I know.
and knowing later that I took a game, and then it's like, wait, then maybe it's game 5, and then who knows?
Yep.
Yeah, but it's okay, and I think it's I think it's also a bad thing for me to be like, dang it, like I'm such an idiot. I can't believe I didn't win those sets. Blah blah blah. It's like no, be realistic. Like we're still quote unquote derusting, and I don't say that as like a
no. You're allowed to give yourself grace.
Right. But yeah, it was a good tournament. I think the video is probably really lengthy at this point, and we're about to get home, so probably a good place to call it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Avery, for featuring.
Of course. Great experience.
Yeah.
Always happy to talk.
See you guys later.
Peace.
Peace.